What's up guys, Bryce here, and we're back at it again for another video. And this time we are back at Sebring for another race. And man, this track has really given me a lot of issues during the week, just really tricky, but I've come to really actually enjoy it a lot. And this is our qualifying lap that we did. And you'll see here just how it was. I think we qualified in P8 with a decent lap. The track is really tricky, and my first time ever driving it, and I definitely should have practiced a little bit more before this, but this is an IMSA race, so we're going to have GT3 cars on track, which is going to be pretty crazy. And NARL is approaching very soon, so just going to do a few races at Silverstone after this, and then it's going to be NARL. And I know I said I'll be doing live streaming. It's tricky to try to fit that in. I'm still trying to find like a schedule for doing racing in general that I think will work. But anyway, back to this lap. You can see we are just, it looks like we're hitting everything good, but again, it's not really the lap time that I wanted. But nonetheless, this was definitely the best race that I've had all week, which is good. You can see the back end is just getting squarely there. And yeah, this is a 45-minute race. Obviously gonna trim it down so you don't have to see this whole 45 minutes, but all of the good parts and you know, the entertaining stuff I'll put in this video. And I've had a lot of ups and downs in Sebring. I lost about 200 iRating just from Sebring alone, which isn't good, but just doing my best. And I should have practiced more, obviously, but the first lap was actually invalidated because I went off track. And here, just taking a tighter line through the last corner, and the finish line is right up here, and we're gonna come across the line, and that is going to give us a 1:45.9, which was decent and just enough for P8. So here we go, coming to the last corner here. The warm-up lap is pretty long, but we're just gonna do everything we can to get a good start. It's a long race, so you really need to be careful, and we're really gonna be on the back here and try to get a good launch off the start of the race. It's really tricky to know where to go here because there's cars just absolutely everywhere, but we're in a decent spot here. We're gonna move to the outside. You can see someone dives down the inside, and that's gonna give him a really nice opportunity to try to slip through. We hold it through. Car on the right going slow there. We're gonna be braking super hard into this corner here, keeping it tight on the left hand side. He's still there on the right hand side, but we keep it clean going through this complex of corners. And there we go. We get it through, and he's still there on the right hand side. It's gonna be a drag race all the way down to the hairpin. And he's pulling away just a little bit, but we're not going to fight it too much. We're just trying to keep our line here. Look how deep we go into that corner. This is going to cause us to lose a little bit of time there, but we get on the gas a bit earlier than everyone else's, and we have more pressure coming from the right-hand side, but we're going to try to move kind of towards the middle of the track, so he doesn't have any ideas, but he's going to go down the inside nonetheless, but we're going to cut back and defend our position. Really tricky there. And really, it's just about making it through this first lap as cleanly as you can. It is a very long race, 45 minutes, and so much can happen in 45 minutes. So, yeah, it's very tricky to make sure that, you know, you do your best and you don't get kind of caught up in that first lap, because it's really gonna suck if you know, don't make it through. And you can see someone makes a little mistake there, and we're able to kind of slip through, which is good. And we're on the back here of this other LMP car. We're just going to stay behind. We're not going to make a move yet. Again, still the first lap. I could have passed him, but we're still just going to kind of keep it through here. We go a little bit wide, but we make it through the first lap. And you can see he has a bit of oversteer there, and they're having their own little battle there. Wasn't actually sure what was going on there. Something happened between them there, and this allows this other car to go on the inside. And this track is so bumpy, cars all over the place, braking super hard going to this corner. I found that these two corners I was actually pretty quick, and you'll see here I was actually out-braking myself just too much, and I almost ran into the back of one of these guys. Fortunately, I didn't. So we're sitting comfortably in P6, and we have about half hour remaining, but this is where things start to get a little bit tricky, because we're starting to approach GT3 cars, which can be tricky, and you really need to know kind of where to pass and where to kind of just stay behind, but it can really slow you down. It can help you, or slow you down, as many of you know. So the car in front gets past pretty easily, but you can see we're just not in a good spot to get past, and we kind of have to compromise our line to make it past, and then this allows that car in front to kind of just pull away. And this ultimately really isn't good, but there's gonna be way more GT3 cars to pass, and I did pit around the later mark than most guys, and I was actually able to get up into the top 5, as you'll see later in the video. But you'll see what happens there. You can see more GT3 cars up ahead. We have an Audi, so you're kind of just guessing, are you going to get a good opportunity to pass? You can see it's going to slow him down, so this is going to allow us to really get nice and close and see if we can make a move. But look, we're compromised again. We cannot take that apex, so we're just going to move to the inside. It didn't compromise us too bad, but it definitely could have been better, and we're going to be approaching a lot more GT3 cars very soon. Going through this corner here, you can see something just happens up front, and we get by 1, and then 2 and 3 cars. We're going to be on the inside here. We're going to make this move, and this is going to move us up into 3rd place just off of that little incident. So that is very good. And just understeering out wide in this corner, and you can see we have a train of 4 GT3 cars in front of us, maybe more. So we're going to ride along for this lap, and we get past this one car on the inside here. It's really tricky just to see what's going to happen. It's just really crucial that you're aware of everything that's going on track, so you don't get yourself into any unnecessary battles. You can see this guy's on the outside here. We keep it side by side, a bit of netcode, and then we're just onto the curb there, and that actually knocked my wheel out of alignment, which kind of sucked. So you can see here, it's very tricky to tell, but the wheel definitely isn't in alignment. We're weaving through traffic here, but the wheel is definitely to the left a slight bit, which wasn't ideal. And we'll go back and actually look at this incident here one more time. Unfortunately, it was a little bit of netcode going through the corner here. Kept it clean, and wish iRacing would fix that, because we were not even close at all, and that knocked my wheel out of alignment. It didn't slow me down too much, but it would have been nice to not have that happen. And we're just going to be weaving through all these GT3 cars here. Look at how many cars are on track, and look at all of the cars in front. It's starting to get a little bit crazy on this track, as it usually gets crazy most of the time. We have 2 more GT3 cars in front, and we're going to try to get past them here. So you can see he passes both of them, which is really good for him, but we're stuck behind these 2 cars here. Some cool liveries as well, and you can see he's kind of all over the place. He wasn't able to pull away, but look at this. We're getting held up once more, not by any fault of anyone, just kind of the way it is. You need to get past as soon as you can and try to find a way past without slowing yourself down. You can see up at the distance we have more cars up there, so we need to be smart with this. We need to be just basically get lucky. That's kind of what it is. You need to kind of be lucky also, because you can be where that guy is and kind of pass these guys on the straights, or you can be where I am and kind of get risky, because we're approaching the corner and we're approaching the GT3 cars as well. We're approaching a pack of 3 of them, so I knew this was not the right move. To make a move, we get past one of them, and then we have 2 other ones, and I think I might have gotten squeezed out to the... No, there was another incident where I did kind of make a little bit of a wrong move, but we get past those cars pretty successfully. So we got 10 minutes left in this race. The guy in P3 went into the pits, and we went for a little bit of a longer run and decided to stay out because we had a lot of clear air. So this is going to be our chance to try to go for the overcut here, because we had a lot of clear track, and this is a lap where we did pit for fuel. No tires, just fuel. And we didn't have any traffic at all. We had a bunch of clean air, so this allowed us to put in some decent lap times and to see if we can come out in front. A lot of these guys are really quick, and I definitely wasn't able to keep up, so we're going to see what we can do here. I think he was about 50 seconds back, which is around that time for a pit stop, so it was going to be really tricky. Really close. So we're going to see what we can do here. We're going to go into the pits here, and we're just going to fast forward this. We went into the pits, had a decent stop, got out as best as we could without a clutch or anything like that. And you can see how close it is coming out the pits. He's going to come right there on the inside. There he is. And he is behind us, but we were able to pass him in the pit, so this is going to be really tricky to try to stay in front for as close as we can. But you can see we got compromised by GT3 cars, and even if I didn't get compromised, I knew his pace was much quicker than me, but I was going to do everything I could to at least defend this position. But you can see we're approaching some GT3 cars, so this isn't going to be the best situation for us. You can see he's right on us there. So I kind of knew that there was a chance that I would get compromised by these GT3 cars. Look how close he is now. And he's already much quicker than us, braking hard into this right-hander. We have a Porsche that's going to be right on corner exit, so we're not going to be able to get a good exit. It was really tricky. I didn't know where to go, staying right behind, and you'll see he gets by on the inside just like that with ease. And we are right on him. We have a little bit of a chance to get past. Look how close we are now, definitely within half a second, but there's more GT3 cars up ahead, so it's going to be really tricky to get past him. And he makes a move down the inside. We're going to follow him right through, super close. And we have another car here. And we're just going to stay behind and see if we can get through. We have 5 minutes left in this race. We're going to catch a little bit of a slipstream and just try to stay behind him. But you can see he's already pulling away just a little bit, so it's going to be really tricky. And you can see we get held up just a tiny bit there. Really risky move. And you can see how close we are now, but he was on the gas much earlier. And this was definitely the closest I was able to get to him for the whole race, I think, before he started to pull away. And I'm really putting pressure on now, just trying to let him know that I'm there. But his pace was really quick, and I wasn't really able to maximize my pace on this track just due to the amount of time that I put in. Just wasn't enough as some of these guys who put in over 40 hours a week, which is a lot of hours, and it's for sure possible, but I just didn't put as many hours as some of these guys have. You can see just how far away he is already, and just through one corner. So that just shows how skilled these guys are. And going into the hairpin, seems like the video is lagging, my iRacing is lagging a little bit, but he was able to pull away pretty much. Here we are approaching the last lap of the race. It's gotten a little bit darker, sky looks pretty cool, and we're coming on the last lap here, and you can see there's a Lambo in front of us. I think this is where we get squeezed out and just almost ran out of room, kind of a tricky spot, but we almost make it around the outside, but we got squeezed out just a little bit. But it's the last lap, so I wasn't too worried at all. But yeah, that is gonna be it. In my next video, I'm actually gonna be showcasing one of the worst races that I've had at this track, where things definitely did not go to plan at all. I had a lot of instances. I think I was in the wall twice, and that was one of the races where the iRating definitely took a hit. And you'll see that in the next video, and then I have a few other videos planned for this week. But bear with me, and we have one more GT3 car to go, and maybe a few more for the end of the race. So overall, a decent race. Was able to finish in P4. Once I bring this car home, that's going to be P4 for us. Got a decent amount of iRating. It was at 3600, but it's dropped down because of Sebring. And then we'll see where we can take it from there at Silverstone, which is an awesome track. Driven that track plenty of times, but Sebring, this was the first time driving it. I didn't like it at first, but I've come to like it a lot. But it is really tricky, and you definitely need a lot of skilled drivers if you want to have clean racing. It was just a lot of fun, but also really tricky as well. Going through this last straight here, and we're going to bring this car home to finish in 4th place. Not the most eventful race in the world, but definitely one of my better results, considering just the really skilled drivers we had during this week. A lot of like popular tracks who definitely get a lot more people compared to kind of the tracks that no one really likes that much. Like I could definitely tell you that Monza would have tons of people because that track is an iconic track and it's a fun track in general. So that's gonna be it for me. That is Sebring. I'm gonna post one more video on Sebring, and then it's hopefully I'm gonna try to get out 3 Silverstone videos, and also post an Assetto Corsa video in between there, showcasing skins for the F1 2022 season. As last year, that was my most popular video ever on this channel to date. So I'm gonna see if I can kind of replicate that, even though most likely it's not gonna happen, but we'll see what happens. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.